Yes, everybody, welcome back to Talking Wolves. Welcome back to the final match preview of the season. Wolves are travelling to Anfield to take on Liverpool in what is going to be quite an emotional game for the home supporters. It's going to be Jurgen Klopp's final game at Liverpool. So quite an interesting spectacle. Of course, that puts a lot more pressure on Liverpool to get the result, I suppose, and I think their players will be up for it a lot more than what Wolves will be come Sunday, to be completely honest, especially with how our form's been going recently. But I'd like to say thank you very much for the support on the channel this year. It's been another great and successful year for Talking Wolves. Been given many opportunities, and that's basically thanks to you guys, to be completely honest. So thank you so much for supporting us this year, and of course still lots of content to come and loads of content that I've got planned to come over the pre-season as well. Hopefully a few special pieces that I'm trying to work very hard in sorting for over the summer as well. But yeah, Wolves taking on Liverpool. Look, our form has been very poor. I'm not going to sit here and say I know too much about the Crystal Palace game. As some of you may know, I was on a stag do last weekend, so just caught the highlights really. But from what I could see, it was another disappointing performance overall by Wolves. So it's frustrating because, as you guys will know, that I tend to be quite positive, try to put a positive spin on things, and sometimes I'm excited going into that games like this because with Wolves having nothing to lose, it might upset the party a little bit. But you know, imagine how interesting it would be for Jurgen Klopp's final game to be a defeat to Wolves. You know, that would always be in the history book. So that's something that sort of excites me a little bit. If Wolves could go into this game and just upset the apple cart a little bit, and for Wolves to, you know, get what would be a fantastic and famous result as well at Anfield, because we haven't had enough of those, to be completely honest. I spoke to someone yesterday and I said, since we've been back into the Premier League, you know, we've got some great results against, you know, Chelsea, City. We did the double over a few years ago. Manchester United and Arsenal we've beaten a few times, but Liverpool, I think we've only beaten once in the league since we came up. So, you know, it's going to be a tough game, no doubt about it, especially at Anfield as well. But some decent team news coming in from Gary O'Neill today. Pedro Neto will be part of the squad for Sunday's game. It's going to be interesting, this one, because obviously Neto's been back in full training a while. I saw Gary O'Neill on another video and made a comment about the difference they could see in terms of the level of training and the quality of player straight away when Pedro Neto had sort of returned to team training recently and over the last few days with the team. So I think it's going to be a huge boost, and I think he has got to appear in this game. Whether he is like 70%, 80% fit, he's got to appear in this game for the very slim chance he gets into that Portugal European squad. You know, I don't know if he would have had conversations with Roberto Martinez and said, look, you know the quality of player I am, just take a punt on me. I don't know, but there's a lot of quality in that Portugal front line. But for me, Neto's got to at least show the Portugal national team supporters that, look, I am fit, I can, you know, make a difference to this squad. So I think he will, whether he starts on the bench or starts the Wolves, I think he will play some part in this game. Pablo Sarabia does have a slight knock, so it sounds like he might not be in the squad for the weekend, but no real comments made about any of the other players. Jose Sarr, Nelson Semedo was maybe a doubt about with him in training as well, but obviously, I don't know, there might be some news tonight. If there's anything big and breaking news, obviously we'll post it on Talking Walls, but in my opinion, the team for Sunday, I think, will look a little bit like this. I think Jose Sarr, as long as he's fit and well, will return in goal. Back five of Ryan Nouri and Semedo as the wing backs, Kilman, Totti and Santi Bueno as the back three. I think it'll be midfield three again, more than likely Boubacar, Lemina and João Gomez, but we might well see Tommy Doyle in there. Chances have been restricted a little bit as of late. And a front two of Cunha and Hwang. I think those two obviously done a fantastic job for us this year. You know, I cannot deny how well these two have played, both getting double figures in terms of goals in the league. And I can't even imagine the numbers that these lads would have got. Plus Pedro Neto, if he was, you know, still fit, with the way he was providing goals and assists, I think on average, if Neto continued at the rate he was at with assists at the start of the season, he would have broken the Premier League assist record, which sounds crazy. I know he might not have kept that level up, but, you know, phenomenal record really for Pedro Neto. So big miss for us throughout the season. Obviously, it remains to be seen whether he's going to be Wolverhampton Wanderers player going into next year. I think, and I hope it's going to be a successful year. Some nice positive comments from Gary O'Neill today about sitting down with Jeff and having these conversations, but at the same time, is this because the season ticket news is due out. Some positive sound bites coming out from the club. All of a sudden, getting fans thinking, "Oh, here we go," and prices go up, and ultimately we get disappointed. I don't know, but we'll wait and see anyway. But we've got the thoughts of Alex from the Cop TV to give his thoughts ahead of this game, final game for Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool. Obviously, a disappointing one for them, missing out on some silverware this year. But here's his thoughts going into this match.
Yes, Matty and Dave at the Talking Wolves TV. How are we, boys? Good to have you on the channel. Go ahead and watch that preview with myself and Dave if you haven't already. But yeah, great to be back on this channel. It's my 4th or 5th appearance. So shout out to all the good work that the boys are doing over at Talking Wolves. Strange game for us, this, man. I mean, Dave mentioned it in his video. I think it's 3 out of 6 in terms of games that we've played against Wolves on the last day of the season at Anfield. We find another one on Sunday, 4 o'clock kickoff. I'm going to the game. And I think if you take away the obvious context around the game, then, it should be a good one. Wolves always give us a tough game. We lost, I think for the first time in 10 games, we lost away there last season. But it's never really an easy game, home or away, against Wolves. So I am going to go for a Liverpool win. I have said 4-1. Maybe if Klopp wasn't leaving, I'd go something a little bit more modest. I just, like Dave said in his video, I'm sure that the boys will give Jurgen the best send-off possible. When you look at what this game means, not a lot. In terms of title race, we're already out of that. But what this means, just in general, with it being Jurgen Klopp's last ever game for Liverpool, I think even Wolves fans who are going to be at the ground on Sunday are going to stay for the Klopp farewell and hear the words, and maybe they might even show their respect to him. I think as we would, if there was a manager that had been around for that long, I'd definitely clap them as well. So, yeah, listen, it's going to be a really emotional day, and I think that as long as we get the win and we see off Jurgen in the best way possible, that's all that we care about. If the title was still on the line and we drew against Villa, I'd be absolutely fuming, but it is what it is. It has fizzled out, and now all we have to do is make sure that we give him the best send-off possible by winning this game against Wolves, which will be tough because Cunha, Hwang, both back. Neto had a great first half to the season. Sarabia, there are players that can really hurt you. João Gomez in the middle? Very good player as well. So, we went down to Wolves at home in 2022. I think it was Neto that scored, which made it a really nervous game. But players that can hurt us, but equally, we've got what we've got as well, and a strong bench, I'm assuming, for Sunday as well. So I'll go Liverpool 4-1. But it's great to have Wolves back in the Premier League next season. They were never really in trouble, maybe at one point, but they've stayed up, which is their goal. And who knows, they could push into the top half of the table with a few ins and outs over the summer as well. So, yeah, big fan of what Gary O'Neill's doing. I think he's got a huge future ahead of him, whether that's at Wolves or if it's elsewhere. And, yeah, listen, enjoy Sunday, Wolves fans, because you might never see a manager like this in the flesh again. So, yeah, lucky you guys for being at Anfield on Sunday, and we'll see what the score is. But listen, once again, massive shout out to Talking Wolves TV. Big fan of your work. Carry on as you always do, and we'll see you next season. Take care.
So big thanks to Alex. I'll make sure I'll leave a link to him and his channel in the description down below. And yes, final game of the season. Look, I'm not expecting a huge amount, to be completely honest. Liverpool are firm favourites for this game. But I just hope, we can put on a decent performance. We've had a really frustrating end to the season, but overall been very decent, considering the circumstances at the start of the year. But let's wait and see what happens. I think the summer's going to be exciting. We've got lots of content coming out. We've got the podcast after this game to discuss what exactly has happened on Sunday and throughout the rest of the season as well. So I do appreciate your support. And if we can hit 17,000 subs over the summer, that'd be fantastic as well. Guys, thank you so much once again. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts ahead of this game on Sunday in the comment section down below. And until next season, I'll catch you all very, very soon.